Hello there, people of the internet. So recently, I literally just now finished making sure Kevin's not around here, literally just now finished making my top 5 favorite guns out of everything that I own. And they're completely based off of emotion. It has nothing to do with practicality or, anything like that. Just how much I like these particular firearms. And whenever I made that list, I was like, yeah, this was a very hard list to make. I could make another top 5 video, based off of things that just didn't make it onto this list. And it was very, very difficult to do that first time. As a matter of fact, going through making this second top 5 favorites list, which will not include, it's top 5 minus the other top 5. Making this list was really, really difficult. There's no Jap rifles. There was almost Jap rifles on this list. There's no lever actions. There were almost lever actions on this list. There were a good number of different handguns that almost made it onto this list, but nah, in this particular case, I got a bunch of old school rifles out here. So let's go ahead and start looking at, this second set of my top 5 favorites that are different from the first set. So first things first, I got myself one of those Schmidt Rubin straight pulls. I believe that this right here is a model 9611. And I think that's a pretty safe assumption since this right here does have the added on pistol grip onto the stock. So that's a pretty clear indication that this right here is a 9611 and not just a model 1911. So whenever I got this thing, I had to stick on the front sights, and I basically just violently smashed that where it is that I kind of thought that it needed to be, because who knows how long this thing has gone without a front sight, and boy oh boy was that front sight channel very, very corroded. So that being said, let's go ahead and bring that back down to where it's supposed to be. 7.5 Swiss. It's an accurate cartridge, definitely way, way more accurate than I am. I really, really like the straight pull system on these rifles. People keep telling me to try the K31. I've never actually checked down a K31, but if it's anything that is, if it's even remotely close to the quality of rifle that this 9611 is, then my God, no wonder people like the K31 so much. So I got one round of 7.5. It's not the cheapest round. It's not. Where is Kevin? Where's Kevin screaming from? Over there somewhere? Oh, well, he's not right here, and that's what matters, because I don't want to accidentally hit Kevin. 7.5 Swiss is not exactly the cheapest round to find, but it is still available out there. There are companies out there that are still buying it, so let's go ahead. Well, still making it, so I can buy it. Let's go ahead and send a round downrange. Not a particularly powerful round, but at the same time, not a particularly lightweight round either. And if I had more ammunition, I'd be able to run this rifle incredibly quickly. It's definitely a very beefy, very girthy, very capable rifle. The one thing that I don't like about it is just how heavy it is, so I see why a K31 would be a really good option. So this right here is a really sweet one. This actually has a bunch of trench art and carvings and whatnot inside of the stock. I've checked this out, or I've shown this off on the channel before. Go watch one of those videos if you want to see more about it. Alright, up next, I got myself a 7.62 Set-Me Oviedo Mauser, but I run 7.62 NATO ammunition through it just fine. It's lightweight, it's a beautiful carbine. We got tiger striping on the wood. I really, really like this rifle. I have brought it out and done a ton of different things with it. I've used it for hunting and game gathering and homesteading and as a ranch rifle, and I have just done a lot with this thing, and I have shoved a lot of ammunition through this thing. 7.62 NATO /308. I reload for it pretty regularly, and I just have a lot of experience with it. I know what to expect from this stuff. It's just a very good rifle. It's a 93 action, so it's not quite as strong as a 98. That being said, it is still plenty strong for what it is that I use it for, and the 308 brass that I'm running here is reloadable, so that's one of the main reasons why I'm keeping it. Now, since this is a caulk-on close action, it has potential to be a very fast system, and it does run with rimless cartridges. So these right here could be fed with regular Mauser style stripper clips, whereas something on like an Enfield series, the stripper clips for that are not exactly all that great. So there we go. One of my all-time favorites, my Oviedo Mauser. I really, really like this thing. Okay, well, let's shuffle on over to, well, I just brought up the infield, so let's check this one out. This is my Santa Fe Jungle Carbine. It's not an actual Jungle Carbine, but hey, I really like this one. The Jungle Carbine lookalikes are not very expensive nowadays. You can go out and pick yourself up one of these. I mean, it basically counts as a sporter rifle. This particular one is a #1 Mark III from 1942 that was made to look like a Jungle Carbine. We got an aperture sight on the rear. This right here can be fed with stripper clips if you get the aperture sight out of the way. I have used this rifle a lot, like a lot. 303 Brit, not the easiest to find, but this rifle is incredibly lightweight and incredibly small and just incredibly versatile, and it's a fantastic rifle. It really is a fantastic rifle. Now, 303 out of this thing right here, it's loud, it's noisy, but we have this muzzle brake on the very end of the rifle, and that right there is something that will dramatically help with the concussive blast that would otherwise come out of this rifle. So, having fired my M44, I know that rifle lengths like this with full power cartridges, there's a lot of muzzle blast that comes out of these. And I really don't get that with this little Jungle Carbine. Combine that with this rubber butt pad that's on the back of this thing, which still has quite a bit of squish to it, and the recoil on this is not bad. And I really like the two-stage trigger that is on this thing. Really helps me get some good accuracy. All right, well, man, that thing just absolutely flew up onto my shoulder. Yeah, I mean, it still has some recoil behind it, since it is, you know, a full power rifle round coming out of a carbine length system. But that being said, it's still not that bad, especially in comparison to some other things out there. Oh boy, I really like this thing. And if I were to run it fast, since it is that #1 Mark III action, I could run this incredibly fast. And since it's aperture sight, I can see my sight picture really well. Fantastic little rifle. One of the ones that I would absolutely keep. Alright, up next, 3040 Krag. I like the fact that it takes a 308 diameter bullet, so I can reload my brass very easily and very cheaply. And since 3040 Krag is a relatively low power cartridge, the pressures inside of the chamber don't get very high, so the brass doesn't stretch all that much. So as a result, you can reuse your brass quite a bit more than you could with something that was a more powerful round, like if I were to reload 7 mag or 300 Win Mag, or you know, some of those higher pressure cartridges, the brass would stretch significantly more. But I have, as a matter of fact, this case right here that I'm about to fire, I think I've reloaded like this particular set like 6 or 7 times now, and I've only had to trim them like twice just because of how low pressure these cartridges are. Now this right here does headspace on the rim, so you don't have to worry about a lot of your headspace issues that comes with reloading whenever you have headspacing on the neck, and you just gotta, it's just a lot of things that come through that. There's it doesn't take a straight wall cartridge, so it doesn't have all the benefits of case stretching that a straight wall does. But with the low pressure and whatnot, like, there's just a lot of benefits to the 3040 Krag. I really like how smooth the action is. I really like the capsule style magazine, how you can just kind of drop some rounds in there and close the thing. And just because of the way that the magazine has like a slight taper to it, the cartridges inside of the magazine itself, it's just really good at avoiding rim lock. So yeah, just like that. If I felt like using this as a single shot rifle, there's a magazine disconnect on the side of the rifle. Okay, this one right here has been sporterized. It's nice and lightweight. Combine that with the relatively low power of the 3040 Krag, and man, we got ourselves a really good rifle here. Whoo, mama! And combine that with what was I about to say? I can't remember. Well, I can't remember. I was gonna say I normally use 150 grain projectiles, and I can't remember what the other part of that statement was. I normally use 150 grain projectiles on this thing. Combine that with the low pressures of the 3040 Krag, and you don't get a whole lot of recoil from something like this. I do like the fact that this particular one has been sporterized. I would like one that is not sporterized, just for collectability's sake, but I also like this one that has been sporterized because it is very lightweight and very capable. And I have actually not taken this particular one out hunting, but boy oh boy do I intend to once I get some mounts on it for a sling. This one has aftermarket Redfield sights on it. I really like the aftermarket Redfield sights. It just helps me see like anyone who's ever fired an original 3040 Krag knows how pathetically minuscule those sights are. So Not the best sights on the original 3040, but these here Redfields definitely way easier for me to be able to see. So up next, this right here is our number 5, and this right here is probably one of my favorite guns of all time. We have the SKS. How many people are going to agree that the SKS deserves to be on this list? So 7.62 by 39 semi-automatic platform. You can get aftermarket mags for this thing if you felt like. These right here are fed through stripper clips. You can carry a lot of ammunition on you. 10-round magazines if you're going with the original standard magazine. I really like the double-stage trigger on these things. I really like the sights on these things, although they are leaf sights that are forward of the receiver. Typically in the Russian SKSs, that rear notch is cut, you know, very avidly to where I can very adequately see my front post, so I can make very good shots on target with it. They're a very simple system, very capable system. They have seen lots and lots of use all around the world and still continue to see use to this day. 7.62 by 39 is easy to get your hands on. It's powerful. It's not very expensive. There's countries all around the world that are using it and making it. And here in the United States, it's not quite as predominant as a 7.6, or it's not quite as predominant as a 7.62 NATO or 223. But if you exclude those two cartridges, then man, it is right there on the top. So let's send a couple of rounds downrange with this thing. Definitely a powerful, capable rifle, and whenever you're out of ammunition, you just kind of bolt locks open at the rear. You put a stripper clip right here, shove some more rounds in there if you had more ammunition, which I do not, and charge your handle and go back to going to town. There's a bayonet that is supposed to be attached to these things. I do have SKSs that do not have bayonets on them, so there is not always a given. That's actually one of the main reasons why I brought this one out, because this one has a bayonet on it. It can be blade bayonet or spike bayonet. I prefer bayonets that can be detached from the rifle, so you can go ahead and just use it as a knife, but that right there does not diminish my absolute love for a good, genuine SKS, whether or not it's Russian, Yugoslavian, Chinese, whatever it is that you want. So that right there is my second top 5 favorites list, and boy oh boy, do I love these rifles. I love these rifles a lot. If I had to pick a favorite out of all of these, oh my god, that's a hard one. The SKS, just for practicality's sake, that would probably be one of my main picks, but I'd probably pick the Oviedo Mauser, just because it's in 7.62 NATO, which I can easily reload and get my hands on and whatnot. So that being said, thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Dogs are going crazy. Looks like we got somebody showing up. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.